Okay folks, just to go into a little bit more detail on the old Titanfall 2 Frontier News Network, I'm going to bring some more information that's on the official website for EA Games. So the first one is that the DLC is dropping on the 25th of July, which means that it is coming in exactly 1 week, which I've already mentioned. So they mention in this blog post that there's been a massive increase in the players and people trying out Titanfall, and they like to see how the numbers are growing and growing over every month. But it's not true. I love you, Titanfall guys, I really do, but this is bullshit. I've noticed an increase in player count at the moment, but that's because the game got cracked, so people have been pirating it, and even if you're playing on single player, which is all you can do on a torrented version of the game, you still look like you're part of the player base, but you're not actively on the multiplayer, which is the area that really counts, doesn't it, when it comes to a video game. At this moment in time, I played Titanfall 2 at launch, and it had anywhere between 15 to 18,000 people on Xbox One when I was playing, which is of course in EU time, so it might not be the same as America if you saw numbers then. And now when I look at that number, it's down to 10,000. And it generally doesn't go any higher than that. I've never seen it higher than that in the last few weeks of playing, so I don't understand where this number's coming from, but it's nice of them to think that it's doing better than it is. Perhaps they're just talking about one-time players who never came back, I don't know, but it seems like a strange thing to celebrate when everybody who plays the game realises that the player base is solid, but it isn't increasing. So the information that it bullet points here is mentioning how it's cooperative 4-player mode, we already knew that. You defend the Harvester against 5 waves of increasingly difficult enemies. Here's an interesting one for contention. In the original Frontier Defense it was 5 waves as well. A lot of people thought that was a little bit too short, and they would have liked it to have an option to be longer, to have more waves, to go a little bit deeper, similar to something like, you know, Gears of War's Horde mode, where it goes on for like 50 waves and it can be a massive evening thing. And not everybody has the time for that, but it'd be interesting to see that perhaps if there were other alternate versions where one is 5 waves, one is 10, one is 20 maybe, and you get better rewards for the more waves or something, that could be something worth looking into, but I have no idea. It says earn cash for defeating enemies that you can spend in between waves to purchase tools like batteries, arc traps, sentries, and more. So the batteries, of course, are going to power up your Titans. Arc traps, I would imagine, are some kind of electrical claymore that you can put down that can stop an entire band of enemies coming that way. Sentries are going to be like the machine gun turrets that you can get as the boosts in Titanfall 2, very reminiscent of the actual sentries in Titanfall 1's Frontier Defense. And it says and more, which promises that there could be feasibly more streaks, more perks for playing as a pilot, which is really cool, because the more depth, the more better. Then it says choose from easy, regular, hard, or master difficulty, and this is beautiful. This is my favourite part of the announce. The fact that they've had the cognition to have these mediations of difficulty means they understood that the difficulty that was previously applied was kinda garbage. If you ever played Frontier Defense in Titanfall 1, it was a fun mode, but it was fundamentally frustrating because there was only one level of challenge. Aimbot Titans and a massive amount of enemies that would just melt you if you got unlucky enough to be shot. And that was all it was. Like, the enemies for the most were kind of dumb and stupid, but they were really accurate, and because there were so many of them, you could get instantly killed in a lot of cases. And some of the Titans, like the 40mm Titan, the XO Titan, you could be wall running, jumping, bunny hopping, and they'll still instantly kill you. They'll just turn around and boom, auto aim, just ridiculous aimbot. And I always felt like it didn't feel fun in a lot of ways. You had to do a lot of dirty tactics to stay alive and to stay on top of things. You know, you didn't see a lot of people running around with normal guns because the smart pistol killed faster, so everybody used that. The arc grenades were a great choice, so you didn't even have to contend. Nuclear eject, because you couldn't kill all the Titans quick enough with your gun, because there was that many of them. You know, there were a lot of strategies that were born through necessity of the way the game worked. But now, with easy, regular, hard, and master, it means that there's hopefully going to be some mediation between them, where if you want to just have a casual run where you're chatting and talking about Game of Thrones and you just want to shoot some stuff and maybe level up some guns you don't like, or whatever you're able to do in Frontier Defense this time, you can do that. If you've got a bunch of good players with you who aren't challenged on regular or hard, you can drop master difficulty and try and go for a really good proper run. You know, you can moderate the experience to yourself, and if it's anything like Titanfall 1, you can start this solo. So if you want to do solo Frontier Defense and Titanfall 1, you don't get very far, because one person can only do so much. You know, there's way too many Titans, it gets way too ridiculous, so you don't really get that much of an opportunity to have that much fun on your own. But if you can put it on easy mode, it's probably way more inviting, way more enticing for somebody that just wants a quick game and doesn't have their friends online. That could be amazing. I'm excited for that. And then this one is even better. There will be an insane difficulty as well as that will exist in a separate tile as a featured mode. So once you conquer master difficulty and you have no equal, you can go into insane difficulty, which is hopefully one step above, and that's when the game just goes fluent bullshit mode and it's every man for themselves. You have to literally eat your own children to survive, and that could be super cool and super awesome with better rewards and fun gameplay. Who knows? And then we have new Titan progression known as Aegis ranks. Earn Aegis ranks by completing matches of Frontier Defense. The ranks can unlock powerful upgrades for your Titans, helping you to succeed at a higher difficulty levels. For now, these ranks will only apply to Frontier Defense, which I find really interesting in the wording in this. For now, these ranks will only apply in Frontier Defense. Does that denounce that they'll apply elsewhere at some point, and they're mixing up potentially how the Titans work? That could be really interesting for the future of the game. I like the idea of improving your character in a horde mode because it means that there's more depth to it and it keeps you playing longer rather than just getting bored of the same thing each year in and out. Then it says new challenging enemy types to battle. So this is one that I'm excited for one reason. I want them to program a pilot. There is this fantasy that I have about Titanfall 2 where they have AI pilots that wall run, wall jump, use all the abilities, use different weapons, and are a legitimately good opponent to fight that's not a human. Because none of the humans play this game like I want them to play it, so I have to look beyond the bounds of floor runners and Call of Duty players to get my Titanfall experience. And if they can program an AI to do that and have it be fair and fun, I'll probably never shoot another human again because I'll be too busy flying in the sky with the AI, and that could be amazing. But I think this just probably means the explosive stalkers, the spectres, special kinds of spectres maybe, different types of titans, the nuke titan, the mortar titan, the electrical strider titan and everything. So I think it'll just be that, but it'd be cool if there was a pilot, because I have all hosts of conspiracy theories for the pilot designs that I want in this game. I could make a fucking video on that alone. But this next one kind of sucks. Titanfall 2 came out in, was it September or October? It came out at the end of last year. We are now, what, 9 months into the game's cycle? They haven't really done too much with the DLC in my opinion. You might disagree with me there, but I think regurgitating maps off the previous game is fucking lazy. I think the live fire stuff is really nice if you like that mode, but it's such a small mode and it seems like such a small amount of effort to make those levels that I'm kind of feeling a bit shortchanged. You know when they mentioned that the DLC was going to be free? The DLC was supposedly going to be more impressive than what they did in the first game, and so far I just don't feel like that's the case. I feel like it's nice because it's free, and I admire the decision to have that integrity, but I feel like we should have got new weapons, and all we got were palette swap clone weapons that are identical to guns that already exist. I feel like we should have got new levels, and we only got one of those that's actually new. I feel like we've been severely undercut with a lot of this, so it makes me wonder what the fuck they were working on. And maybe they were working on this. Maybe the Frontier Defense has changed so much you don't even recognise it. It's got such depth now, it's a game in and of itself, like the Call of Duty Zombies. I hope it is, but I don't think it will be. And this point says 5 maps supported at launch. Homestead, Forward Base Kodai, War Games, Rise, Blackwater Canal, and that's it. Let me just iterate here. 3 of those maps are from the base game. So they've had 9 months to fuck with this mode, and they've only managed to balance it around 3 of the main 9 maps that were originally in the game. That's completely unacceptable. And it does say here, we are currently testing additional maps and we'll add more in the future. That's not good enough. I just... On Titanfall 1 right now, you can turn it on and you can play any of the like 20, 30 maps that they've got. Any of them, all of them, they all work. And when was that released in that game's life cycle? I have no idea, I didn't play it at the time. But when you bring this out, you need to have all your chips together. Is this some way of like promising extra content and then regurgitating shit we've already got? Because that seems like that's really bad to me. And I don't want to sound like I'm ungrateful, because I'm not. I love both Respawn and I love Titanfall 2, and this is great. It's free, you can't really complain, although I'm going to make a really good case of why you fucking can. But this seems unacceptable. One of these maps doesn't even exist yet. It's the map that comes free with this DLC, which is a Titanfall 1 map, so they've already got all the fucking, you know, Frontier Defense information from that map because they've already designed it before. Same with War Games. War Games was on the last game. I played Frontier Defense with Lummy the other day on it. Like, 2 of these choices already have all the technicalities figured out. So they've made 3 maps playable? I don't get that. Like, everything here is great, and then we get to this, and you kind of go, huh? That seems really, really dumb to me. But I don't know. You know, I don't know about game development. I don't know the difficulties. I don't know what they had to change. I don't know what this mode is like. This is all 100% ignorance and speculation. But I feel that that seems kind of bad and really limited for the introduction. And if they're going to be doing, like, every 3 months you get a couple extra maps for Frontier Defense, this mode is going to die. Guaranteed. Because it's not enough. The one thing to kill any kind of multiplayer game is have them repeat the same maps. And the map rotation right now is so terrible that you play the same 3 maps anyway. So I think that this is definitely a warning light right now, and I'm hoping I'm wrong. I really am. But it's concerning. It's really concerning. But anyhow, guys, that was a bit of an addendum to the announcement for Frontier Defense. I am excited in spite of my trepidations, and I hope you are too. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys on the Frontier. You take care now.